Beyond the reach of time and the boundaries of the mortal mind, there exists a place where the foundations of reality were first laid. It is the ruins of the Cradle of Creation. Here, massive pillars of white marble, cracked by the weight of eons, float amidst a sea of primordial nebulae. The air is thick with the scent of ozone and incense, and the ground is paved with the dust of dead stars. It is a neutral ground, a threshold between the pantheons of the old world and the divine hierarchies of the celestial spheres. Two figures stand at the center of this cosmic stage, prepared to engage in a conflict that will decide whose authority reigns supreme over the architecture of existence. On one side stands Zeus, the cloud gatherer, the father of gods and men. He is the pinnacle of the Olympian hierarchy, a being of raw, untamed power and majestic authority. His skin has the glow of bronze sunlight, and his eyes are restless storms, flickering with white-hot electricity. In his hand, he grips the Master Bolt, a weapon of such cataclysmic force that its mere presence makes the fabric of space vibrate. Zeus is a god who rose from the dark pits of Tartarus to overthrow the Titans, a monarch who tamed the wild forces of nature and bent them to his will. He represents the sovereignty of the earth and sky, the triumph of order over primordial chaos. Opposite the Olympian king stands the Archangel Michael, the prince of the seraphim and the commander of the heavenly host. He is draped in armor of celestial silver that reflects no shadow, etched with runes of absolute truth. From his back sprout 6 wings of blinding radiance, each feather a blade of pure light. In his right hand, he holds the flaming sword, a weapon forged in the very heart of the Empyrean, the same blade that cast the morning star into the abyss. Michael does not stand as a king in his own right, but as the supreme executor of the divine will. He is the champion of the infinite, the guardian of the cosmic plan, and the slayer of dragons.
I have watched your kind from my throne on high, winged messenger. You speak of a singular light, yet I am the one who brought order to the chaos when the world was young. I have crushed the 100-handed ones and buried the titans beneath the mountains. Do you truly believe your flickering flame can withstand the wrath of the Sky Father?
Your mountains are pebbles in the hands of the one I serve, Zeus of Olympus. You are a king of shadows and myths, a creature born of the very creation you claim to rule. I am the breath of the first cause. I did not come to claim a throne, for the throne belongs to the Almighty. I came to bring the silence of the heavens to your thunder.
The battle begins not with a word, but with a roar that shatters the nearby floating islands. Zeus raises the Master Bolt, and the sky above the ruins, a sky that should be empty, instantly fills with thick, black clouds that weep liquid fire. With a motion faster than the human eye can track, Zeus hurls a lance of pure lightning. It is not merely electricity, it is the physical manifestation of the god's divine authority. The bolt tears through the vacuum of the cradle, turning the air into plasma. Michael does not flinch. He raises his shield, an indestructible bulwark of faith. The lightning strikes the shield with a sound like 1,000 hammers hitting an anvil. The shockwave sends ripples through the nebulae, blowing away the surrounding mist. Michael stands unmoved, his feet anchored by the weight of his purpose. With a powerful beat of his 6 wings, he launches himself forward, a streak of white light cutting through the Olympian storm.
Kia Deus, who is like God.
The Archangel swings the flaming sword. The arc of the blade cuts through the very concept of distance. Zeus narrows his eyes and summons the Aegis, his legendary breastplate and shield, which bears the terrifying visage of the Gorgon. As the flaming sword meets the Aegis, the collision creates a sunbright flash that would blind any mortal observer. The two forces grind against each other, the fire of the Empyrean against the stone-cold terror of the Greek abyss.
You are fast, angel, but I am the world itself.
Zeus expands his form, growing to a height of 50 feet. He reaches out with his massive hand and grasps a floating pillar, imbuing it with his divine essence. The stone glows with blue energy as he swings it like a mace. Michael drapes himself in his wings, spinning like a celestial whirlwind to avoid the blow. As the pillar passes, Michael darts inside Zeus's guard, his sword flickering like a serpent's tongue, seeking the gaps in the god's golden armor. The King of Olympus laughs, a sound like grinding tectonic plates. He shapeshifts, his body dissolving into a sentient hurricane of golden eagles and lightning bolts. The eagles swarm Michael, their talons made of electrified bronze. Michael closes his eyes, relying not on sight but on the divine resonance within him. He emits a holy shout, a word of power spoken in the language of the first day. The sound creates a vacuum that disperses the avian storm, forcing Zeus back into his humanoid form.
Cunning. You fight like a warrior of the great wars. But I have more than just thunder. I have the power of the soul.
Zeus reaches into the air and pulls forth the very concept of fate. He attempts to weave the threads of the Moirai around Michael, seeking to bind the Archangel to a destiny of defeat. The air turns gray and heavy as the laws of the ancient world try to crush the celestial intruder. Michael feels the weight of mortality and gravity pressing down on him, trying to force him to his knees.
You speak of fate as if it were the master of all. Fate is but a path laid out for those who cannot see the maker. My destiny was written before the stars were ignited, and it cannot be altered by a god of the earth.
Michael's aura begins to expand. He radiates a heat that is not physical, but spiritual. It is the fire of purification. The threads of fate, so strong in the Greek world, begin to wither and snap in the presence of the Archangel's absolute conviction. Michael raises his sword high, and the ruins are suddenly filled with the sound of a heavenly choir, a harmony that creates perfect order in the chaotic environment. Zeus, feeling his influence waning, decides to end the confrontation with his ultimate technique. He gathers all the electricity in the cosmos, drawing power from the very atoms of the Cradle of Creation. His body becomes a silhouette of pure, white energy. He holds the master bolt with both hands, its power now so great that it begins to melt the ground beneath him.
To the pits of Tartarus with you. Die by the hand of the true king.
Zeus unleashes the Chronos Slayer, a blast of lightning that incorporates the power he used to defeat the father of time himself. It is a beam of destruction that erases everything it touches, a roar of sound and light that fills the entire arena. Michael does not retreat. He plants his sword into the ground and kneels, covering himself with his wings in a meditative stance. He becomes a conduit for the infinite. As the lightning hits him, it does not explode. Instead, it flows around him, split by the invisible barrier of his holiness. The Archangel Michael acts as a lightning rod for the divine, absorbing the shock and redirecting the energy into the ground, causing the ruins to glow with an ethereal pulse. The smoke clears, and Zeus is gasping, his divine ichor flowing from small wounds where the celestial pressure has cracked his skin. He has never seen a being survive the full force of his bolt. Michael rises, his armor pristine, his eyes glowing with a calm, terrifying light.
Your reign was a shadow, Zeus, a necessary stage in the childhood of man. But the sun has risen, and the shadows must flee.
Michael moves with a speed that transcends the physical. He appears directly in front of Zeus. Before the god can raise his hand, Michael places the tip of the flaming sword against Zeus's chest. The heat of the blade begins to sear through the golden breastplate. Zeus tries to grasp the blade, but his hands burn at the touch of the holy fire.
I am the immortal. I cannot fall.
You are a part of the world. I am an agent of the one who made the world. The part cannot overcome the whole.
With a final, decisive thrust, Michael drives the flaming sword through the heart of the Olympian. There is no blood, only a burst of golden light that illuminates the furthest reaches of the galaxy. Zeus's physical form dissolves into a shower of sparks, his essence returning to the sky from which he came. The master bolt falls to the ground, its light fading until it is nothing more than a cold, charred rod of metal. The silence that follows is absolute. The Archangel Michael sheathes his sword and bows his head in a brief moment of respect for the fallen king. He then spreads his wings and ascends, disappearing into a portal of pure light, returning to the Empyrean to report that the order of the heavens remains unshaken. Why did Archangel Michael emerge victorious in this clash of titans? The answer lies in the nature of their power. Zeus, while incredibly powerful, is a deity tied to the physical world and the laws of nature. He is a king within the system of creation, subject to the whims of fate and the limitations of his own ego. Michael, however, is a metacosmic entity. In theology, Michael is the direct extension of the singular, infinite power of the Creator. While Zeus possesses the strength of a storm, Michael possesses the authority of the one who spoke the storm into existence. Zeus fights for his own glory, but Michael fights with the weight of an infinite and absolute will behind him. Logically, a finite being, no matter how great, cannot overcome the representative of the infinite. This was the battle of the ages, a confrontation that redefined the boundaries of myth and faith. If you enjoyed this epic simulation and want to see more divine clashes, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of history and mythology. Tell us in the comments who you want to see in the arena next. Until next time, may the light guide your path.